What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be doing an expansion draft. I typically do a couple of these every single year, and now that we're somewhat decently into 2K23, and I got a decent amount of requests, let's go ahead and do one. So the typical way that I do these is I add 2 expansion teams, and obviously we go ahead and draft the teams, and we do 2 different expansion rebuilds. I obviously only control one of them, but today it's been weird. I tried to go ahead and add 2 different teams. I don't know what's up with 2K23 on Next Gen. There's something completely wrong with it. It took legitimately 20 minutes for me to load in the Seattle Supersonics team. So I tried to add another team. It sat here for another 20 minutes and it just didn't work. So we have one team today, one expansion team. So I know it obviously is annoying because it would make a lot more sense to add 2 different teams and then you have to like one player from every single team in the league. It obviously does make sense when you have 2 15-man rosters like that. But it didn't work out today, and I do apologize about it. Of course, if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel, join the community. I do apologize. There were no videos yesterday or on Friday. It was a long weekend for me. And finally, let me know any other video ideas or challenges, rebuild ideas you have down below in the comment section. But without further ado, man, we are the Seattle Supersonics today. We are officially bringing them back. Let's see if we can hop in, get them a championship. I'm only going to go ahead and make the first 3 picks when we do get into the expansion draft. I'll just let the CPU simulate. I mean, it's not going to really be that make or break anyway. So we can look at some of the protected players. If you want to go ahead and pause, feel free. We'll see if there's really any shocks here. I can't imagine that there's really anybody that, like Klay Thompson's here, that could be cool. I highly doubt that there's going to be anybody here. Like, who's the highest rated player that's not protected? I'm assuming we're going to have to scroll decently far down the list in order to find one here. It honestly might be Klay Thompson at an 83 overall. But, yeah, there's really nobody here, but there might be some decent young pieces. So let's go ahead and just see who's available for us here. You got Klay Thompson, Kevin Love, you got Bogdanovich, you got Dinwiddie. So obviously there are some decent options here, and we don't have to go against another team, so we can quite literally take whoever we want with our draft picks. So I'll probably take Klay Thompson just because it's good to always get a decent veteran, has a lot of experience. Let's go ahead and take Klay. Well, we're going to make 2 more picks on our own, and I think I do want to go ahead and kind of maximize on the younger guys here that I have a little bit more control of. Before, obviously, if they don't get drafted, they do go back to their own team. So Isaiah Stewart could be a fun one. He's somebody who does progress decently well, or at least used to, maybe not as much anymore. Let's look at maybe the 22-year-olds. You got Baisley here, Trey Murphy, Trey Jones. And then finally, let's just check out the 23-year-olds. So, you know, there's going to be options here. A guy like Grant Williams is here. It's typically who you would expect to be here. So I probably will still take Spencer Dinwiddie. And then my final pick will definitely be a young player right here. I think that just makes the most sense. Honestly, Jonathan Isaac might be my guy. Jonathan Isaac hasn't played a basketball game in a long time, but he's going to go ahead and be my guy. So let's sim the rest of the draft, and I will see you guys with this team. I'm sure you guys were able to see that roster. I simulated it, went very quickly, but here's how it's looking. We obviously drafted Klay, we drafted Dinwiddie, we drafted Jonathan Isaac. Pretty much just a lot of the other top guys on the board with a couple younger pieces mixed in. So we got Bogdanovich, Russell Westbrook, Grant Williams. I wish there was a way to like maybe not let the CPU draft somebody for me because I probably wouldn't have taken Russ. But yeah, it's okay. We got Io here. I'm really excited about that. He'll probably get the starting gig here for year 1 because I really don't want to be a good team. I'd rather be a bad team right now and then go ahead maybe get a couple assets for some of the players we have. This is never supposed to be a realistic rebuild. And then we'll have one bad season, really good draft pick, and we'll take off from there. So it is a pretty decent team. There's definitely a decent amount of depth, but we are going to make a couple trades. Let's get into them. Our first trade is going to be coming with the Houston Rockets. We are going to send them Russell Westbrook, so they get Russell Westbrook back. They're going to actually give me a first-round pick. This is one of the things I wish 2K would fix because Russell Westbrook is currently not a positive asset. He's a negative depreciating asset, and I should not be able to get something valuable like a first-round pick for him. So the thing with Russell Westbrook is right now, I just don't think the Lakers are the right place for him. I think that's 100% clear. Would he do that much better somewhere else right now? I don't really know. I mean, you're never going to be unbelievably good when you're shooting like 20% from the field and 8% from 3. But that Russell Westbrook situation is an absolute nightmare, and I'm assuming the Lakers are very happy to get this season over with right now. Let's go ahead and make a couple more trades. We're going to be taking on Duncan Robinson's contract. Miami Heat want to throw in a first-round pick in 2027, and Will Barton's an expiring deal, and I really don't need him on this team. I have Trey Murphy, and I move Bogdanovich to the starting small forward spot. So we get Duncan Robinson. Will he play? Probably not, but a first-round pick is a first-round pick. The Pelicans want to go ahead and give me a first-round pick in 2024 for Darius Baisley. Now, I'm not just going to sell off all the players that I really am not going to go ahead and re-sign after this season. This will be the final one. Reason I'm doing this is I have Jonathan Isaac, I have Grant Williams. I'm going to be honest with you, when fully healthy and playing the game of basketball, I prefer both those guys over Darius Baisley. So we're going to do this. We're also going to get Najee Marshall. It's actually a Lakers pick, which might make it even more valuable. So I'm really happy with that. We're not going to make any more trades. Could I cheese the system and definitely get some more draft picks? I obviously could, but I don't really want to do that right now. So we are going to go ahead and set this rotation. It is now officially the start of year one for us here in Seattle. Is this team bad? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. I don't really know how this team as a whole is really going to mesh together. I think it could be a surprisingly good year. I don't know if we're a playoff team, but I don't think our record's going to show that we're really that bad. Now, obviously, we only had one expansion team, which makes the rebuild a decent amount easier. And if 2K wanted to give me or allow me to put in a second team, I obviously would have done it. But 2K is going to 2K, so this is the roster we got today. It's Io, Klay Thompson, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Jonathan Isaac, and Isaiah Stewart. The bench is actually really solid. It's Spencer Dinwiddie, Grant Williams, Trey Murphy, Dennis Smith Jr., and Omer Yurtseven. So that is the team for now. Could I, again, trade a lot of these guys and maybe get some draft picks? Probably, but feels a little too cheesy at this point in time. That's not the rebuild today. I will see you guys at the end of year one. We're still probably not a playoff team, but let's see what happens. I believe I saw a record and we went 25 and 57. I don't care about that right now. More importantly, Luka Doncic averaging a 42-point triple-double is one of the craziest fucking things I've seen in a long time. How does it get more statistically insane every single time Luka wins a goddamn MVP war? I mean, what is this? What is this? I want somebody to explain to me. I mean, the meat riding here is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and you know it. This is insane. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, has had a hell of a start to his rookie season in Orlando. Very excited to see him hooping. Andre Drummond, Sixth Man of the Year. Giannis wins Depoy. Isaiah Stewart does win Most Improved Force, so that's pretty cool. Billy Donovan, Coach of the Year. Looks like the Bulls were pretty good. So, yeah, I think I said, 25-57, something like that. We were not a good team. Yeah, 25-57. I mean, we were better than the Spurs and the Rockets. And, yeah, so we're currently projected where we have the third odds, which means we have, I guess, the number one odds, the number one overall pick. Let's take a look at the numbers. See how it was done. Klay Thompson looked like he was back to old Klay. Obviously, it's a little bit of different circumstances. He's now the number one option here in Seattle, but still maybe getting that trade value up a little bit. I will definitely take it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and pretend that a lot of these guys are going to be on this roster in the long run. But let's get through the playoffs right now. We were obviously not in it. Go ahead and simulate the 2022-2023 NBA playoffs. What is going on in this game? Nerf the fucking thing. That's what you do in Call of Duty and every other game. When something's like ridiculously overpowered, you nerf the shit out of it. Nerf it. This is like Prime Warzone. This is the goddamn DMR right here. I mean, plug it. Jesus. Donovan Mitchell, a hell of a start to his Cavs campaign as well. Does win Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And Luka and the Mavericks, I mean... 45.5 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 16 assists. Oh my God. Well, I guess 2K has their priorities straight. Let's get into our first offseason here. We'll obviously have two of them. The draft lottery is a very, very important night for us. We'll want to go ahead and make sure we get a really good draft pick. So I guess, oh wait, do we not have, did they change that? I don't know. We end up falling to number 6. Sweet. The head coach, I know they assigned someone random, Million Mac. He has dog shit ratings, so I'm going to fire him, and I want Stauffer. It's an expansion rebuild. I obviously have the money for it. Let's go ahead and do it. Maybe like Jeff Bezos bought this team or something. I have no idea. Let's take a look at the trade finder. We have the 6th overall draft pick as well. I'm thinking I go all out here and try to go either get Scoot or try to go get Victor Wembanyama. So I might move up to that number 2 spot and just take whichever one of them doesn't go first. You obviously know that it mixes and matches. So let's make a trade. The Charlotte Hornets currently own the number 2 overall draft pick. Unfortunately, we don't really have a ton of assets to throw into this trade right now. Because if I show you what we have to offer, it is Klay Thompson, as you saw, I threw in Duncan Robinson, and quite literally nothing else. So I don't think they're going to take this. I would obviously do have a couple other draft picks now. You can have my 3rd overall pick in round 2. And then how about if I throw you like a Miami Heat first in 2027? Can I just do like seconds? I'd rather not give up another first. Is that possible in any way, shape, or form? Nope. Shit. You know what? Honestly, I'll try to get number 3 instead. I think I'd rather do that than give up another first. Because in this situation, even if I don't get Victor or Scoot, I can live with the probably really talented player I do get there at number 3. So how about this? And then I can probably just do it with a couple other seconds. Hopefully we can get this to go through. I'll still probably honestly give up the Miami first-round pick. I don't really worry about that too much, and they agree to that. So 3rd overall pick. Let's get into the draft. I'm assuming Victor and Scoot going to go 1-2. Take a look at the summary. No, Nick Smith went number 1 overall, which means, means Scoot Henderson is officially a Seattle Supersonic. Welcome to the team. We honestly didn't even have to give up that much to go out and get him. So he's an 80 overall. Him and Io are going to be my 2 point guards of the future. Bogdanovic accepts. I'm going to bring back everybody because there's really no reason for me to not bring back everybody. Worst comes to worst, we can trade them for first-round picks now. I want Grant Williams back. I want Io back. Yurtsvin might bring back. Not going to be too worried if he does not end up coming back. So we enter free agency where, we might have a little bit of money if we make some moves, but ultimately, I don't really love this. I don't really love this draft class, or this class in general. I mean, maybe a guy like Kyrie Irving would be fun, but I don't know if I'm competing with that $260 basically $1 million deal that the Brooklyn Nets are throwing him. So probably not going to be a year here in free agency. Also, for the love of Christ, RJ Barrett signed his extension like a month ago. Get it together, 2K. I mean, this game. So we're probably not going to spend a ton of money this year. We might have one more down year and then kind of go all out in the final year, but we're going to try to be competitive. I think I honestly might move Klay Thompson after coming off a really good year. So let's figure out something. This is going to be a very weird trade and not one that I'd make in typical circumstances, but I don't have to give up a draft pick, and I get 2 really good players. Now, Ben Simmons has not had a really good start to his Nets tenure. I know that. Here in 2K, it's a much bigger, different story. So we're going to get him. We're going to get Clint Capella, who's obviously an upgrade over Isaiah Stewart. We're selling high on Klay Thompson after his best season in a long, long time. So I'm excited to go ahead and, get Ben Simmons. I'm probably going to plug him in at the starting small forward spot, as weird as that sounds. Maybe the power forward spot, I can obviously figure it out, but Bogdanovic is only on a 1-year deal. But we definitely have some options now, and obviously Clint Capella will take over at the starting center position. So we definitely are not done making trades. Let's keep doing it. I want to try to get Jordan Poole and have him be my starting shooting guard. I think he would definitely provide a really good spark to this team. I don't know what Golden State's using him for. I'm assuming he's probably in their starting lineup now, especially because Klay Thompson was gone. But you know what? Let's see if we can go ahead and get this done. I offered them Isaac, I offered them Kenyon Martin Jr. I'm going to move Ben Simmons most likely to the starting power forward spot. So you can have Najee Marshall and Garrison Matthews if you want as well, and I'll probably have to give up a first-round pick or 2. But let's go ahead and see if this is in any way possible. I don't want to give up the Lakers or our pick next year, honestly, or the Nets. I'll do my first in 2025. It might, okay, and wow. So, I mean, by that point in time, it really won't matter. And, we officially have 6 guys on this roster, but we do have our starting 5 figured out. Still a little iffy on Bogdanovic, but I'll probably give him one more year just because I don't think with the assets we have right now, we could really trade for a hugely significant upgrade. So we definitely have some guys we do want to re-sign. I'm not going to renounce any of these guys, especially not Grant. Dennis Smith Jr. can go. I do not need him anymore because I obviously have Io to be the backup to Scoot Henderson. So we will go ahead and, hopefully re-sign these guys. So let me just get through. We only have bird rights on Grant, unfortunately. Hopefully it allows me to re-sign all of them. I know they all should have qualifying offers anyways. Actually, Io might not. He's a second-round draft pick, isn't he? Shit. Let me just look. Oh, no, he's restricted. Okay, well, I can get him back. Oh, wait, I have the money to get him back. Hopefully it lets me bring him back. And it does. Can I not do this and not renounce Grant? I don't know. Is this going to work? All right, it does. And now I want to go ahead and get Grant Williams back. He wants just under $11 million a year. It's honestly not too bad. He definitely deserves that price for him. So let's go ahead and take a look at this team right now. We obviously need to get a backup shooting guard and a backup center. I'm probably going to prioritize center a little bit just because I think I'm more comfortable with Jordan Poole than I am probably with Clint Capella, like not having the best backup. So let's sign somebody like a Dwight Powell. It's not horrible. It's a 2-year deal. I know we had Yurtsvin there. I just didn't have rights on him at all. And then the shooting guard spot, honestly, I can afford Seth Curry. I'll take Seth Curry, really good shooter out the bench, especially maybe with not the best shooting, point guard, and maybe not the best shooting power forward or center. So I'm excited to see what this team can do. I'll see you guys at the start of the second season. Here's how it's going to look for the second season in Seattle. Is this team a championship contender? No, probably not, but we've set ourselves up really good for the future, or the future of 1 year. But I like it a lot. It's Scoot Henderson, Jordan Poole, Bogdanovic, Ben Simmons, and Clint Capella. It's also a really good bench. We got Io to soon move off the bench, Grant Williams, Trey Murphy, Seth Curry, and Omer Yurtsvin actually had a qualifying offer. He accepted it. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead. Dwight Powell can chill. Yurtsvin's fine. I will see you guys at the end of year 2 here in Seattle. To say we overachieved here in year 2 would be a very strong understatement. We went 61-21, which is very hard for me to believe because, albeit this is a good team, it's just a 61 team, not a God's chance in hell. So 2K making some interesting decisions on the win-loss record for us. Here, Ja Morant MVP. Finally, somebody besides Luka. Very nice seeing Ja Morant win it. And in real life right now, through 4 or 5 games, he is definitely a favorite. Victor Wembanyama does win Rookie of the Year in Charlotte. Charlotte finally gets a much-needed center. Nikola Vucevic, Sixth Man of the Year, found his way over to San Antonio. Giannis wins DPOY. Darius Garland, Most Improved. Mike Stafford wins Coach of the Year for us. I mean, 61 and 21, as I mentioned, for an expansion team 2 years in. That's very deserving of a Coach of the Year, in my opinion. And it was the best record in the league. Now, the playoffs obviously are a completely different animal. Are we going to go out and win a championship right now? I would have told you not a God's chance in hell when this first started, but here we are. And you know what? 61 wins later, we might have a good shot. So we'll see what happens. Ultimately, though, it's a really tough Western Conference. We got Minnesota here in the first round with D'Lo, Ant, Jade McDaniels, Cat, Gobert. I mean, overall-wise, just definitely a better team than us. So let's see what happens here in round one against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We are currently up 2-1 against them. We are 2-2, so now we got a best-of-3 series. We go up 3-2, and we are going to Game 7, and we do end up losing in round one. So, albeit a 61-win season is really impressive, I don't really care if we're not winning championships. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I never really thought of this team as a championship team. So, is it a successful season? Yeah, kind of, but also not in some ways. But nonetheless, Donovan Mitchell, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Steph Curry, Western Conference Finals MVP. Another Cavs and Warriors Finals, baby. Cannot beat it. Darius Garland wins Finals MVP. So let's get into our final offseason. This is where we'll probably throw a big punch or two. Try to land some superstar if it is possible. Let's head up to the draft lottery right now. We do have the Lakers draft pick. I'm not sure if that's actually in the lottery. Okay, yeah. We're projected 4, and it is unprotected. I know that. So let's see what happens, and it falls all the way to 7. I don't think I've ever moved up in a draft, ever. I have like maybe once or twice, but it does not happen often. And I know if I sat through it pick by pick, I have a better chance, but it just takes way too long. All right, we're up to the draft with the number 7 overall pick. We might make a trade or two. I've decided that the best course of action is for us to actually use that 7th overall pick, draft a rookie, and then go ahead, throw the rookie in the trade whenever we do make it. So I think that's probably the smartest option, especially because we can go ahead, re-sign Bogdanovic, and then include him in some sort of trade. So who is the highest prospect here? Mackenzie Mbako is definitely a strong candidate for that. He's currently a 78 overall. We can see it. DJ Wagner is also really highly rated. I know he is. Who would I prefer? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm thinking about Mackenzie Mbako. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. But just because of the fact if I can't find a trade, the small forward spot's definitely much more needed than the point guard spot. So is this the right pick? I don't know. Probably not. I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of DJ Wagner fans yelling at me down below in the comments section because I've passed on him before and people were not happy with me. I'll take 2 unprotected seconds. I'll take 2 second-round picks from the Milwaukee Bucks. Mackenzie is a 78 overall. Again, will probably be included in a trade. Trey Murphy coming back as well. Omer Yurtseven has another qualifying offer. Why the hell not? So I do want to go ahead and I want to re-sign Bogdanovic, and then I'm probably going to be throwing him in a trade. I actually want to give him a decent amount of money just so I can kind of match it with some of the bigger contracts in the league, as weird as that sounds. And yeah, I know that's maybe not the smartest thing to do, but it's kind of what we have to do if we want to go out and get a superstar. Let's find a trade. We're going to try to see if we can get Triple J. I want Jaren Jackson Jr. on this team. He's obviously a stud defensively. He has a B.3 or B plus 3.3. He has a B plus 3-point rating. So if I go ahead and trade for him and I move Ben Simmons to the small forward spot, yeah, it might hurt our shooting a little bit, but it is what it is. It's 2K still at the end of the day. So Bogdanovic and Mackenzie Mbako hopefully can go ahead and give me some sort of package to go ahead and get Triple J. I obviously do have some draft picks, and it's the final year, and it takes 1. So Simmons is going to get moved down to the small forward spot. Is it the best way to go about this? Probably not. And let me be honest with you guys. I tried to trade for 2 other players before I went and go ahead and traded for Jaren Jackson Jr. I tried for Jimmy Butler, and I felt like I was this close. I gave up so much. Quite literally almost everybody from IO down. I tried to offer along with Bogdanovic, Mackenzie Mbako, and some combination of draft picks with all of those players. It was not happening. And then I tried for Karl Anthony Towns. Did something very similar, and it also wasn't happening. So instead of getting Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ingram for the 100th time, I decided to go with Triple J. That's just where my head's at, and I wanted to explain a little bit. But this team was really good last year, and ultimately, we really don't need to make many other changes besides this. So it is a really talented team. We're going to get Yurtseven back. I'll wait on him myself. Actually, do we have bird rights on him? We do not, but he'll be coming back, and I will see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year. I like Seth Curry a lot. It's always really good to have a nice shooter off the bench. Unfortunately, he regressed down to a 74, and Victor Oladipo is a 79. So we'll move him to the shooting guard spot, and he will be coming off the bench for us now. So Victor Oladipo, let me go ahead and move you to shooting guard. He actually goes down to a 77, which sucks a little bit, but it's fine. Let me change the spot. I'll set the rotation. It is the final season here in Seattle. Is this team a championship contender? I really hope so. We have really good depth. We honestly have a really good starting 5 and a really goddamn good head coach. So let's see what happens. It's Scoot Henderson, Jordan Poole, Ben Simmons at the small forward spot. I know, it makes me nervous. It's it's a tough one, but hopefully it works. Triple J and then Clint Capella. Bench unit, really good. Io DeSumo, Grant Williams, Trey Murphy, Victor Oladipo, and Omar Yurtseven. Let's see what happens here at the end of year 3 in Seattle. We were a 61 win team last season. Maybe we can pass it. See you guys at the end of year 3. I didn't see our exact record. I know it was somewhat on par with how we did last year, so hopefully we were good enough to maybe win a goddamn playoff series this year. Darius Garland, MVP, Ron Holland, Rookie of the Year. Andre Drummond, 6-man. Bam wins Defensive Player of the Year. He'll definitely get one at least at some point in his career. Evan Mobley, Most Improved. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. We finished as a 1 seed, so I will take that no matter what. We do go 59-23, so 2 games worse than last year. Again, somewhat on par. I can live with it. The Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be a very, very tough team to stop. I believe they actually swept the Warriors last year. Darius Garland has won an MVP. We definitely have our hands full. Here's how the numbers look. Jordan Poole at Triple J, Scoot Henderson, Ben Simmons, Io Capella, Victor Oladipo, Trey Murphy, Williams, Omar Yurtseven. We take a look at rebounds. It was Capella, and assists was Simmons. So, we got a first-round matchup. It is the Denver Nuggets. They definitely have the best player in the series. Overall-wise, I might give our team the nod. I like our depth quite a bit, and you know what? Hopefully we can get by them here in round 1. We sweep them. Thank the Lord in the heavens. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I mean, like, obviously, this team is not insanely talented. Besides Luka Doncic, you got Chris Middleton, who, in my opinion, is still one of the more underrated players in the league. But Luka's Luka, and, you know, the man averaged a 45-point triple-double in the finals. So, no matter what, it's going to scare the living shit out of me. And we do win in 5. Okay. And we're moving on to the Oklahoma City Thunder here, who have Josh Giddey, who's up to a 90 overall. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Justin Edwards, Poku, Chet Holmgren, Jeremy Grant, Mari Bailey, Jaron Walker. Just the amount of young talent there in Oklahoma City is almost mind-boggling. And we are up 3-1 against them somehow. Don't blow a 3-0 lead. Thank the God. Thank God. Ben Simmons wins Western Conference Finals MVP. Darius Garland, who just won regular season MVP as well. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be... Oh, my God, they added OG Anunoby. I don't know if there's going to be any stopping this Cavs team. I genuinely have no idea. I mean, we can give it our best shot, but I just... Yeah, there was... Oh, my God. We just got... Okay, let's relax with Darius Garland a little bit. He's a hell of a player. He's going to continue to be a hell of a player and have a tremendous career, but we got to pump the brakes on, you know, his progression in 2K a little bit. All right, so that kind of does it. We made it to the finals. It would have been nice if we could have won, but I don't think no matter what team I did and what rebuild that anybody was beating that Cavs team right there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like down below. That'd be absolutely awesome. As always, comment any other video ideas you guys do have. I love doing expansion rebuilds, and yeah. Other than that, hope you guys all have a good one. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.